Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today's video is part 3 in my series where I show you how to build SmallishBean's aka Joel's starter base from season 10 of Hermitcraft. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to build the interior and all the decorations that come with it. So without further ado, let's get into it. In this chest you can see the materials that you are going to need for part 3 of today's build. Now, for those of you building this in survival mode, I have left the exact amount that you will need of each of these items in the description of today's video. So take a good look, and once you think you have them all, we can get on with today's build. So, to begin, we're going to start by getting the structure of the inside built up, so this being all the walls and the staircase going to the second floor. So we're going to start by coming to our front door here, and to the right of it, we're going to start with a pillar of stripped oak logs that goes all the way up to the ceiling, which should be 4 blocks tall. Then we're going to do a pillar of normal oak logs. Then on the ceiling, we're going to place 2 oak slabs to the right. And then we're going to repeat 4 more columns, alternating between stripped and not stripped. So it should end up going like this. And we build all of these up to the ceiling, like so. There we are. Now, coming behind it, we're going to keep it going to the left until it ends up being 2 blocks away from the wall. So it should go stripped, oak, and then we build these up as well. Next, we're going to come back to where our slabs are in the ceiling, and we're going to extend them to the right until they hit the red terracotta wall, like this. And now, coming behind them, we're going to skip the first 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. And on the 4th one, we're going to place another oak slab that's then going to extend backwards until it hits the back wall. Now, to the left and the right of this oak slab, we're going to skip 1 block and place a chiselled bookshelf with the bookshelf part facing towards us. And we do that on both sides. Then, on the left-hand side of the right bookshelf, we're going to place an upside-down stair facing into the slab, and we do the opposite on the other side. And now on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, so being the outside of both bookshelves, we place a trapdoor and flip it down. Now, coming back to our entranceway on the left here, we're going to place another 2 oak slabs, an entire block below these 2, so that it ends up leaving this half a block space. Now, coming into our corner here, we're going to extend out another row of 2 oak slabs all the way to the left. So we do 1 row directly in front of it, and another row directly in front of it. Now, for our stairs, we're going to start by coming to this wall here, and to the right of it, we're going to place 2 birch stairs, and then we're just going to extend this upwards until it hits the ceiling. Now, we're going to break out the 2 blocks above it, like so, all the way up until the end, and then another 2 so we can place another 2 birch stairs. Now at this top stair here, we're going to break out the row to the left of it, coming all the way back and then down, so we end up breaking out an L shape. And now we're just going to keep the log pattern going upwards, so we place an oak, then a stripped, then an oak, then a stripped, and then an oak. Now for these 3 blocks here, we're just going to place a temporary 2 blocks underneath it, and then we're just going to continue on the pattern. So we place a stripped, then an oak, then a stripped, and we destroy our 2 temporary blocks. And now we can start work on some of the decoration for the first floor. We're going to start by creating the little table that goes in the center here. So we come to the front entrance, and on the 2 left blocks, we're going to place 2 pink carpets, and then another 2 behind them on both sides, giving us this 3x2 carpet on the floor. Now, if we come to the top left of the carpet, we're going to go up and to the left and place a mangrove slab, skip a block and place another. Then we're going to come to the second row of stripped oak logs, and we're going to place an upside down spruce stair coming off of it, with a loom to the right. Now, we're going to place ourselves a temporary block to the right here, and then another spruce stair facing into the loom and destroy the temporary block. Now we're going to grab ourselves our oak trapdoors, and if we come up one and to the right of the mangrove slab, we're going to place 3 facing to the left, on top of each other like this, and then flip them all up. Then we're going to replace the oak slab directly above our trapdoors with an oak stair that is facing to the right, and then 3 oak slabs coming off the back of it on the bottom half of the block. Now to create the back wall, we're going to take our birch trapdoors and our bamboo trapdoors, and we're going to start placing them in a crisscross pattern. So we place birch, then bamboo, then birch, and then we alternate it. So then bamboo, birch, bamboo. And we're going to repeat this for the next 2 layers, like this, coming all the way up to the top. And then when we flip them all, making sure to actually place the right one at the end here. And when we flip them all, we end up with this lovely looking wall for the back of our eating area. Now we're going to take ourselves a brewing stand, and we're going to place it on the left upside down stair here. We're going to destroy the bottom 2 blocks of this oak log pillar here, and place 2 upwards facing barrels like this. Then we're going to take our lantern and place it on the rightmost oak slab here. And our armour stand is going to go to the left of our front door, facing diagonally like this. Now, the next 2 decorations are going to be these hanging pots that hang from the ceiling. Now, if you're in Java, then you can do this absolutely fine, but unfortunately, in Bedrock Edition, you can't have flower pots floating mid-air. So the way I was able to do this in my own creative world was by using barrier blocks. But of course, if you're in survival, then this is not possible. So if you're on Bedrock, you might just have to leave out these 2 decorations. So we're going to come to the leftmost block here, and on the ceiling, on this birch plank here, we're going to place a chain, and then a flower pot underneath it, and a piece of bamboo in the flower pot. And then the other one is going to be back towards our front entrance, on the second birch plank in, another chain, another flower pot, and then an acacia sapling inside. Now, to finish off the right hand side of the first floor, we're going to start by coming to the back window here, and in front of our mud brick walls, on the bottom block here, we're going to place a piece of dirt with spruce trapdoors surrounding it, so that we end up creating this plant pot. Now we're going to place a dead bush on top of it, and cherry leaves on top, to make it look like some branches of a tree. And now on this right wall here, we're going to place ourselves a painting. So we're looking for the 4x2 one of 2 people fighting. So we're going to place some temporary blocks, 2 here, 4 at the bottom, and 4 at the top. And if we place the painting in this block here, and this is the one we're looking for, we got quite lucky getting that on our first try. There we go. And now we can begin work on the kitchen of the house. To start, we're going to end up placing a whole lot of chests. So if we come to the left here, where we've got these oak slabs in the ceiling, we're going to want to place 4 rows of double chests that are 3 blocks high. So let's do that now. Placing them like this, making sure that if you're crouching, to place it on the side so that they actually connect up into double chests. Like this. Now, we're going to come to the right here, where we can see these dark oak planks, and in the ceiling, we're going to break these 2x2 area, and we're going to fill it in with birch slabs. And this is so that we can still access the chests that will be at the top of this area. Speaking of, we're going to do 2 rows of chests that are 4 blocks high, making sure that they are all double, like this. Bringing them all the way across. Now we're going to take our barrels, and where we have these 2 empty blocks here, we're going to place 4 barrels going up to the ceiling that are facing upwards. Now, coming to our windows here, in the middle, we're just going to place 4 mangrove fences going up to the ceiling like this. Now, coming to the right of this, we're going to place 3 more double chests going up the wall like this, with 2 oak slabs directly above them. Then to the right, we're going to do another pillar of barrels, looking just like this, with a blast furnace to the bottom right of them. And then we do 3 polished tough walls above it like this, to create the effect of a chimney going upwards. Now to place our lantern, we're going to come back to these 2 stacks of barrels here, and we're going to go up, to the left, up and to the left, and place our lantern. Then we're going to place 4 cherry trapdoors around it like this, with all of them facing inwards, so that when we flip them all, they end up surrounding the lantern like this. Now, we're going to take ourselves some oak stairs, and underneath our mangrove window here, we're going to place 2 in front of it, facing into each other to once again create a table. On the left stair, we're going to place a flower pot with a cherry sapling inside. Then, coming to the right of the window, skipping a block, here we're going to have that 1x2 painting of that man in a black cloak. So we're going to place some temporary blocks, and then we're going to try and get it. There we go. And you can just repeat that until you get a painting that you like, or this one. Now coming to the corner here, we're going to place a smithing table with a stone cutter on top of it, a crafting table to the right, and an anvil here. Then, underneath the stairs, on the 3rd stair up, we're going to place 2 barrels like this, as well as 2 barrels in the corner of the room, like this. Then we're going to take ourselves our smokers and our blast furnaces, and we're going to place 4 of them in an alternating pattern, so that they look like this. And now finally, we're going to place a lantern on the block in front of our 2 barrels here, to the left of this oak wood pillar. And that is now the decoration for the 1st floor complete, so now we can begin work on the 2nd floor. So to start, we're going to prioritise getting a bit of the structure built in, as well as the roof of the 2nd floor. So to start, we're going to come over to this pillar here, which is to the right of this red window, and above it we'll see this row of calcite that is 6 blocks long, and we're just going to simply break all of this out, like that. Now, in the corner here, we're going to take our stripped dark oak, and we're going to build a pillar that is 5 blocks tall. Now, coming across to the right, we're going to take our stripped acacia, and we're going to build another row like this, and it should be 5 blocks long. Now, we're going to take our dark oak again, and we're going to bring back this pillar all the way until we hit the back wall of the building. So we just want to bring it along, like so. There we are. Now, we're going to grab ourselves our Acacia Slabs, and we're going to place a row on the top half of these acacia logs. And now this is where we're going to start alternating. So for the next row, we want to do stripped oak logs, but specifically it needs to be 1 block higher than where the slabs are. So when we fill it in like this, we'll see that the slabs are at the lowest point and it starts to create this shape going upwards. But now we want to switch back to acacia slabs at the same height as the previous ones. So we start to have this alternating pattern that almost looks like some logs going across the ceiling. And we just want to repeat this all the way to the end. Here we go. And it should look just like this. Coming to the left here, we're going to take ourselves our acacia slabs, and we're going to place a few rows at the top of our oak plank wall. So the amount we want to place is 1, 2, 3. But then we're going to keep going, except it's going to be 1 block longer now. And then finally we're going to do 1 more row that should go all the way to the end until it's just at the left of our window here. Now, on top of these slabs, we want to do another row of acacia logs, facing sideways like this. And that gives us a nice capping off so we're not seeing any of the roof blocks. And now we just simply want to continue our pattern from before. So where we have our acacia slabs, we're going to keep them going like this. And where we have our stripped oak logs, we can keep it going like this. And we just want to repeat this for every single row. Let's do that quickly. And once we have this done, that will be the roof fully finished, and we can begin work on some of the other structural elements like the big fence going through the room. So speaking of, we're going to come to our staircase here, and where we have all of these oak logs, we're going to place mud brick walls on top of all of them. until it comes around like this. Now, coming to the end one, we're going to count back 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this row, to the right of the mud brick, we're going to place ourselves a stack of dark oak fences that is 4 blocks tall so that it touches the ceiling like this. Then we want to bring it to the left, like so, which should be another 3 fences. And then, coming to the right, we're going to skip 2 blocks, and then build 2 more stacks of fences that are 4 blocks tall. And it should be touching the right-hand wall here. And now, we're going to take ourselves our dark oak trapdoors, and we're going to place a stack on the right-hand side that is 4 blocks tall, so that when we flip it open, it's touching the fence on the right, and we're going to repeat the same on the left, making sure that it's facing towards the fence. And we flip it up, and now we have this entranceway. And now finally, to finish this part off, we're going to take a lantern and place it on the fence that is to the left of the stack. Now, to work on the bedroom itself, we're going to come back to the front staircase here, and we're going to grab ourselves our red carpets, and on the 2 right blocks of oak logs, we're going to skip a block, and then we're going to make ourselves a carpet that is 2 blocks wide by 3 blocks long. Now, if we come to the top right of the carpet, and we go to the right, and we go up by 1, and we're going to place a barrel here, and then we're going to turn around and place a dark oak trapdoor to the left of it, and flip it up. Then we're going to place ourselves a red bed in front of it, with a dark oak sign on the front. And then finally, on top of the barrel, we're going to take a flower pot, and we're going to put a fern in it. Now, coming back to the staircase here, in the 2 blocks that are at the top, we're going to make ourselves another little table. So it should look like this. And we're going to place a 2x2 painting above it. And the one that we're looking for is the one of the skull. There we go. That is the painting we're looking for. And the other one we're going to place is coming to the top of the bed here. We're going to place 2 blocks next to the window so that we can force ourselves to get a 2x2 painting, and the one we're looking for here is the one of the candle. There we go. That is the one that we need. Now, coming behind our bed area here, we're going to make ourselves the wall that goes here. So to start, we're going to come to the dark oak pillar here. To the right of it, we're going to place a birch trapdoor facing outwards. We're going to skip 2 blocks, and then place another 2. And we're going to repeat the same on top of this, but with bamboo. Now, for the next layer, we're going to want it to be all the way across. So we just have to carefully place it so that it's facing the same direction. What you might have to do is just build up some temporary blocks like this, and place them on that, so that you can make sure that the handle of the birch door is closest to you. And then we cover it with 1 more layer of bamboo. So now that when we flip all these up, we're left with this really pretty looking wall that has a 2x2 door in it. And in the other side of this, in the 2 corners, next to the wall, we're going to place ourselves some dark oak fences, and then 2 cherry leaves on top of both of these. And that just gives us these nice little trees. Now, coming back this way, and we're going to go to the left-hand side of the room, and we're going to place a polished diorite in this corner here, next to the stripped oak. Then, to the right of it, we're going to place ourselves 4 polished diorite stairs, like this, and then we're going to bring them back by 2 blocks. And this is where the little pool is going to go, so we just want to fill this up with water, like that. And then finally, we're going to place ourselves a decorated pot on top of the polished diorite here. And that is the little pool done, as well as the bedroom. And now we can work on the rest of the decoration for this room. So to start, we're going to end up placing 2 more of the hanging baskets in the corner here. So for the first one, we're going to want to break out this slab at the end here, at the end of this row. And we're going to place ourselves a chain, a plant pot underneath it, and then an azalea inside of it like so. And it ends up creating a really nice looking little tree. And for the other, we're going to come to the first row of oak stripped logs here, and on the rightmost block we place another with a flower pot underneath and an oak sapling inside of it like this. Now, turning around, we're going to come to the back of our mud brick wall fence here, and at the back of the left block, we're going to place a dark oak fence and then 4 bookshelves behind it. 5 even. And then, on top of this, we're going to place a chiseled bookshelf on the frontmost bookshelf, and then 4 more bookshelves behind it, as well as a cherry leaf on top of the dark oak fence. Then, to the right of these bookshelves, we're going to place 3 chiseled bookshelves like this, and then a upwards facing barrel with a grindstone on top of it. Now coming to the corner here, we're going to do 3 more bookshelves going to the right towards the door, and then do another layer so that it's 2 blocks tall. Then if we start here, we're going to count in 1, place a lantern, and then on the next block, place a chiseled bookshelf. And now finally, in the middle here, we're going to place ourselves an enchanting table. And with that now done, that is all of the interior of our house completed. And now, if you're happy with the way it is, then you're more than welcome to leave the building here. But for the keen-eyed viewers of yours, you may have noticed that I haven't included any of the banners that you can see on his base. And that's because I thought I'd leave it to the end, because it is a bit of a process trying to make them all and then place them everywhere. But if you're really looking for that authenticity, and I must say it really does bring the build out, then this next section is just for you. I'm going to show you how to make all the banners, and then I'm going to show you where to put them on the build. So let's get into it. So in total, we are going to be making 9 banners that are all unique to each other. And the materials we are going to need are 2 plain pink banners, 4 plain white banners, 3 plain red banners, and then dyes. We're going to need pink dye, red dye, white dye, and then finally we'll need the field masoned banner pattern. Now to begin, we're going to start with a pink banner. We're going to put in our field mason banner pattern, and we're going to use white dye. There we go. Then we're going to put it back in, and we're going to grab ourselves our pink dye, and we're going to start by using the border, which is the pink bordure. We're going to put it back in, and we're going to use the pink fess as our next pattern, and then finally the pink paley as our third. And that is our first banner done. Now for the next one, we're going to have our pink banner as the base again, white dye, field mason pattern, take that. Then we're going to put in ourselves our pink dye, use the pink border. We're going to use, this time, the pink per fess inverted, which is the one that covers the bottom half. And then finally we use the striped one again. Now we're going to take ourselves our white banner. Using pink dye, we're going to use the field mason. Then we're going to put in ourselves some white dye. And we're going to use the border one again. Then we're going to use the one that covers the top half of the screen, which is this one. And then finally we do our stripes again. We use a white banner with the red mason put on this time. Then we're going to put white dye into it, use our border. Then we're going to do the bottom half one, and then finally our 3 stripes. Next we use another white banner with a red mason put onto it. Then we cover the top half, as well as using the border one. And then finally we put in our stripes. And then finally we're going to do one that is both the top half and the bottom half. So we put in our red dye mason. We use our white dye to do the border. And then we're simply just going to do the one that is just a stripe through the middle. And then our stripes. Now, for the next 2, we're going to use our red banner. But this time we're going to use white dye for the field mason. Then, taking our red dye again, this one we're going to do the border. We're going to do the stripes. And then we're going to do the line through the middle. Now we once again take a red banner, white dye, field mason. And for this one, we only want the top half to be visible. So we do ourselves the big bottom half of red, we do a border, and then we do our 3 stripes. And now for the final one, it is probably the most complicated of the lot. So we start by taking a red banner, we put in our white die, and we're going to do the one that is a X shape. Then we're going to put in our red die, and we're going to choose the red border, which is our border one. Then we're going to select the one that covers the top half, like this. And then finally we're going to take our white die, and we're going to select the one that is just the circle in the middle. And then we take our red die and choose the one that is like the 3 teeth at the bottom. And those are our 9 banners. Now, if any of that was difficult to follow, I will quickly hover over all 9 banners so that you can see the patterns that went into it, if you prefer to do it that way. Because the Loom is quite a useful tool for this, so hopefully it wouldn't be too difficult. So now that we've got all the banners, we can begin placing them on the build. So, starting at the front of the building, we're going to come to the top right here, and where we have our upside down oak stairs, on the rightmost one here, we're going to place the white banner pattern that has the red in just the top of it. Then we're going to skip the one with the trapdoor, and on this slab here, we're going to place the pink banner that has the white on both the top and the bottom. Then, coming round the corner, back to where we have these more trapdoors, on the right slab here, we're going to place the white banner that has the pink on the bottom half. Then we're going to come to the garage, and where we have these pink cherry slabs at the top, we're going to place a red banner with the white at the top, a red banner with white at the top and the bottom, a white banner with red at the top, and a white banner with red at the bottom, like this. Now, coming to our spruce jutting out section here with all the barrels, on each of these 4 pillars we're going to place one. So on the left pillar, we're going to place a red banner with the double white. On the second pillar, a red banner with the white at the top. On the third, we're going to place this strange kind of ribbon looking shape. And finally, we're going to place a white banner with red at the top and the bottom, like this. Next, we're going to come to the left-hand wall, and we're going to place 2 in this 2x2 area where we have our pink cherry log and the lightning rod. So for the left one, we're going to place ourselves a white banner with the red at the top, and then the ribbon one to the right of it. Coming to the back of our building, we're going to skip the slab on the corner. On this one here, so the second one in, we're going to place ourselves our white banner with pink at the bottom. Then we're going to skip one, and then we're going to place our pink one with white at the top and the bottom. And then we skip these 2 here. And on this one, which is the one to the right of the lantern, we place our pink one with white at the top. Next, coming down to where our lantern is on the first floor, we're going to place a banner underneath it, and this will be the red one with white at the top. And then to the left of this lever here, we're going to place the white one with red at the bottom. And now we have 2 more to place if we come inside. So where we have this checkered wall here, in the top left, we're going to place a red one with white at the top and the bottom. And down here, so if we come 3 across, and in the middle, we're going to place a white one with red at the top. And with that now done, that is all of our banners placed. And with that comes the end of today's video. This has been my biggest project yet, which isn't surprising since it took me 3 parts to cover. So, I really hope you all enjoyed, and please leave a comment what you'd like to see me build next. This video itself was a suggestion by a viewer, and I think it turned out really well. But with that all said, I will see you next time. Goodbye!